Here we are going to talk about the important terminologies which you must know about this marine offshore oil and gas. When I say important, that means that if I'm talking about certain terminologies, you must be aware of what I'm talking. So you need to listen it very carefully because this terminologies you will not get anywhere on the internet. So you need to focus it very carefully. When I say a green field, what does the green field means? The green field means any project which you need to start by scratch is called as a green field, for which there is no information available. There you need to make certain assumptions. You need to have only a limited data available, and it's something like a new project. It is called as a greenfield project. For example, in a normal your life, if you want to take, suppose there is a project where you need to install a building. So you have only a site available for your building. So you can call it as a greenfield project because you have only site and you need to construct a building. And accordingly you start designing, okay, what is the soil quality and how much space available, and what is the architectural plan, how the construction will happen, what kind of cement I'm going to use, what kind of paint I'm going to use, how many floor story building I need to use, then how much water tank I need to supply, and how where the electrical lines will come, how much the load will be required. So these are all things which we plan and execute over there. So anything which is starting from the scratch, it is called as the greenfield. Then opposite to that term is called as a brownfield. The brownfield is nothing but a project which already exists but needs some modification. And when this modification is done, the capacity check or recheck needs to be done whether the existing modification, what we are doing it on the existing platform or existing structure, whether the structure is good enough to take care or strong enough to handle this new modification. Again, I am giving the example here of the building structure. You already have a building in place, and suppose your builder has additional FSI to build the two floors. So what he will do tomorrow onward itself, he will not go and construct two floors. First of all, he will hire an architect and he will tell, okay, I am installing the two floors, or I have to put the two floors above the 10 floors. So just check whether these two floors, whatever mass is coming, whether is it going to affect the load calculations, or building should not come down due to these two floors. And second thing, he will check that electrical, then your plumbing lines and all the water is sufficient enough to pump up to the two levels, and uh, the residents who are going to come and stay there will not face any problem due to the capacity shortage or something which is for the existing building. So that additional study and putting the modification work comes under the brownfield. So hope you understand these two terminologies. It's very important. One more terminology I forgot here to write, that is feed and pre-feed. Feed is nothing but FEED, feed, and pre-feed is nothing but PRE-FEED, pre-feed. These two are the studies, and the full form of this pre-feed and feed is, that is, feed is front front end engineering design. That is feed, front end engineering design. Pre-feed, again, the pre-front end engineering design. What does it mean? The pre-feed is carried out a high level design, a very superficial thoughts have been put in what capacity the offshore platform or the structure should be, approximately by thumb rule, what equipment we can use it over here, and how approximately the size of the platform is. So it arrives at the high level budget for the management to sanction to start the project or start the feed work, which is, goes into more into details. When the feed work is carried out, the purpose of the feed is very simple. Purpose of the feed is to bring all the EPC contractors on the common platform to bid it. And normally the feed is being carried out from a reputed consultants. They make the specifications, they make the initial drawings, they make the capacity calculations, and they arrive at a certain scheme. And when they arrive at certain scheme, uh, the drawings are attached to it, and then the same documents get distributed to the EPC contractor, and based on that they quote. So since all are on equal platform, equal level, there is no discrimination. And again, the system is also fixed, and HVAC requirement also fixed. So what happens here is there is equality over here, and client also get relaxed that money I am putting, and whatever outcome I will get, that will meet the purpose, and it will serve to the operators who are going to work on the platform. So that's the purpose of pre-feed and feed. Now let's go to the third term, that is vessel. What do I mean by vessel? Vessel is nothing but a ship, but in the technical language or maritime language we call it as a vessel. So please understand that when someone calls vessel, it's nothing but a ship in this, not your vessel which you use in your home. No. Fourth is a deckhead. See, deckhead is nothing but your roof. Roof we call it as a deckhead in the marine language or marine HVAC offshore language. So when someone says as a deckhead, that is, understand that it's a roof or a plate dividing the two levels. What is bulkhead? Bulkhead is nothing but a wall. A wall is named as a bulkhead. So in marine HVAC, bulkhead is nothing but a wall. Penetration sleeves. What is penetration sleeves is nothing but as per SOLAS, that is a Bible for any maritime standard. That is SOLAS, full form of SOLAS. Nobody knows. Even the good engineers also doesn't know about the full form of SOLAS. But I'm going to tell you, and you need to understand and remember it very very well. SOLAS, that is SOLAS. SOLAS is a maritime standard. That is nothing but safety of life at sea. SOLAS. Okay. So you need to understand this. The SOLAS clearly defines that if any of the HVAC duct getting penetrated in the fire rated bulkhead, then if the size of that particular penetration is equal to or more than 750 square centimeter. How much? 750 square centimeter. If it is more than that, then that particular bulkhead, that is wall, which is made up of steel normally, has to be provided with minimum 3 mm thick mild steel, that is MS sleeve, which is 900 mm long. How much? 900 mm long. It could be 200 or 700 or 450 on either side of the bulkhead, but the length should be 900 mm long. So this is what is called as a penetration sleeve. And again, this side of the sleeve, again you can continue with the ducting. This side of the sleeve again continue with the ducting. Since it is penetrating the fire rated bulkhead, we need to install the penetration sleeve. So this is also very very common question we should be able to remember. What is cowl with a bird screen? Cowl with a bird screen is nothing but if the penetration is happening, you will find that a 45-degree cowl is being given and there is a bird screen given. The reason for that is the cowl is that suppose the rain is happening, the water should not go inside the duct or the opening, which is either exhaust or fresh air ducting. So either it should not go into the fresh air or it should not go to the exhaust. That's the purpose of there's a 45-degree angle provided, and there's a bird screen because birds should not enter inside and should cause any accident. So that is the purpose of the cowl with the bird screen. Normally cowls with the bird screens are provided at the intake or an exhaust of an HVAC openings for the air duct or the intake or exhaust for the HVAC openings, or even the fresh air intake or natural intake, whatever you call. Next is fire rated bulkhead. This terminology I will be explaining in the deep next course module. But as the name indicates, fire rated bulkheads are classified in various ways: A0, A30, A60. So there are various classifications of the steel bulkhead with the insulation. So that I will be covering in subsequent slides, subsequent part of the course. Wall panel is nothing but suppose there's a ship. So in the ship you need to stay. So you need to stay in the accommodation. So when you're staying in the accommodation, definitely you would not like to see the steel around you, right? There should be a room with good architectural finishes. So wall panel helps in that. Wall panel is installed on the top of your steel bulkhead after the insulation. So there's a steel bulkhead, insulation, and the wall panel. This kind of arrangement normally is there, and they have been kept together by stiffening. So this wall panel acts as a architectural finish for you. What is galley? Galley is nothing but a kitchen. In common man terminology in the marine HVAC, a kitchen is named as a galley, and there's a very deep topic I'll be covering about the galley in subsequent sessions of the marine oil and gas session. So galley is nothing but a kitchen in simple language. So someone calls galley is nothing but a kitchen. Remember this so that in interview you can very well clear it. Okay, what is bridge deck? Bridge deck or wheelhouse is nothing but a place where the captain of the ship is staying. So he's handling the ship from there. There's a wheel there, and all you can see the gadgets there. Electronic gadgets are there in kept. So from this place, the entire control of the ship is happening. Again, there's a separate standard over in the marine oil and gas that we'll be covering in the subsequent session. Then what is port? Port is in the terminology when we talk about the marine HVAC or the marine system. Port side of the ship. When someone says that check the equipment to be kept, HVAC equipment to be kept on the port side of the ship. What does it mean? It means that suppose you're standing on the ship and you're standing and you can see the front side of the ship. There are two sides. One is front side, one is back side. So suppose your eyes are at the front side of the ship. Okay, you are on the ship and you are looking at the front side of the ship. The left hand side is called as port side. Left hand side is called as a port side, and the right hand side of the ship is called as a starboard side if you are looking toward the forward of the ship by standing on the ship. Hope you understood it. And the back side is referred as the aft side. Aft side. So this right hand side is starboard side, and your left hand side is going to be your port side. This is forward side, and this is aft side. Back side is the aft side. Then the dry provision store is nothing but there are certain dry items also there, like the your coffee mixer, coffee is there, sugar is there, tea is there. So these kind of items are kept in a dry provision store. That is also part of the chiller freezer system, which we are going to cover it in the subsequent topics. Also, though in this session we are going to touch the basics of the chiller freezer system, but as we go deeper, we'll cover it in the next sessions. Now let's go to next sessions.